another person a part of the Dolton crime mob is going down. A couple of months ago, I reported on Keith Freeman, the right-hand man to the mayor of Dolton and supervisor of Thornton Township, Illinois, Tiffany Teflon. Yeah, the feds indicted Keith Freeman first, and now their second indictment was handed down to their police chief, Louis Lacey. We're going to get into it, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any time, let's jump into it.
We are continuing to follow breaking news. The top cop in South suburban Dolton is facing a bankruptcy charge tonight, leading to new questions about who's in charge of the police department and whether the feds are closing in on the village's mayor.
WGN's Jenna Barnes is live in Dolton now with the very latest. Jenna.
Dana and Ben, this is the second close ally of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard to be indicted on federal bankruptcy fraud. And the lawyer tonight for Deputy Chief Louis Lacey tells me this is all part of prosecutor strategy to get them to turn on Henyard. The man at the helm of Dolton's police department, Deputy Chief Louis Lacey, now facing federal charges.
It's a great day in Dolton. Justice is being served.
And shout out to Miss Valerie. I always wonder, is there an investigation at the federal level on that incident that took place at her house about a year ago? Tiffany Tahoe was beefing with her, and then all of a sudden there was a drive-by at her house. Dolton police did nothing about it, no investigation, nothing. And we all know that Tiffany is clicked in with a whole bunch of criminals. So yeah, I wonder if they're looking into that incident and connecting the dots between the mayor and this police chief.
Lacey, an ally of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, is charged with bankruptcy fraud, making false statements, and perjury, accused of concealing his income and lying about his spouse's income to avoid paying more than $40,000 he owed in a lawsuit settlement, the case dating back to 2015. The indictment notes Lacey has filed for bankruptcy 7 times since the 1980s.
I'm just so happy because this man needs to be taken off the street. He does not need a gun or anything.
Those who've been pushing back against the Henyard administration are celebrating the charges, but Lacey's lawyer calls them a witch hunt.
They're trying to find people that will shy away and cooperate with them against the mayor.
Yeah, they're definitely putting charges on him before her because they're trying to catch the big fish, Mayor Porkchop. This man is one of Tiffany's top allies. She promoted him only because he was doing all of her dirty work. He was rewarded for helping her intimidate local business owners and citizens who would not fall in line and support her. Lacey is responsible for hurting a lot of people in Dolton while hiding behind his badge. And I'll say this, it's no secret, he should be charged with a lot more than bankruptcy fraud.
Can flip. They go down the line. They show up at 6 o'clock in the morning when a person is not lawyered up, when a person is just waking up, and they're telling you, oh, I'm here to talk to you and be nice to you and don't worry about it, and you're not under arrest, and then we're going to leave and we're not going to arrest you today, but here are some questions that we have for you. So immediately a person puts his foot in the mouth, and from there the fish is caught.
Is that what they did with Lacey?
To a certain degree, yes.
I mean, we knew this was happening before. The feds, they're going after people from inside of her operation first, and then they'll get them to cooperate. I said that when they charged Keith Freeman. They came for her right-hand man first. Why? Because he's aware of everything. He was there helping her do it all. Both Keith Freeman and Deputy Chief Lacey are also responsible for destroying the village along with the city girl mayor. Tiffany, she's been using a whole bunch of folks to help her do her dirty work. They're all in cahoots together. Everybody working with this wannabe Griselda Blanco should also be held accountable, top to bottom. And this police department is obviously corrupt. They spend more time protecting their part-time mayor and harassing opponents versus protecting the people.
The indictment is separate from former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's findings that Lacey was paid more than $200,000 in overtime in the last few years, despite not being eligible to receive OT.
With all due respect to Lightfoot, it was her conclusion. She's nobody. She's just the person that came out with a conclusion, and the village is taking it as if it was the scripture.
And see, here's the problem I have with people. Whether or not you like Lori Lightfoot, did she lie? In this investigation, she found Lacey was paid $200,000 in OT alone, and he's not even supposed to receive OT. If it's not true, you should be saying he was not paid $200,000 in overtime. But instead, you have the attorney here saying Lori Lightfoot doesn't matter. No, let me tell you what matters. Is it true or is it a lie? This attorney knows it's true, but he's paid to run interference and make the public believe otherwise.
The village fired the deputy chief last week after placing him on leave. We're told he showed up to work even after receiving his notice of termination.
There are some good people working for the police department in Dolton. My wife and I have met a couple of them, and I hope the powers that be will allow one of the good ones to fill the space.
The community already looking ahead to where this indictment may lead.
We got to take the rest of the trash out.
Lacey's lawyer says he will surrender in court at a date yet to be determined, and he plans to plead not guilty. We're live in Dolton tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
Thank you, Jenna.
Okay. Somebody know something. Don't nobody know nothing? Nobody. Nobody? Trustees? Nobody? Somebody know something. Ain't that right, Jason? I think you know something. Yeah, Jason, you know something about it.
You going to jail? You going to jail?
Whatever, I do what I want.
In her independent investigation into Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's spending, this comes after the board voted last night to place the village's top cop on administrative leave, only for him to defiantly return to work today. The gray clouds over Village Hall tonight seem fitting as trustee Brittany Norwood describes the financial woes that loom over Dolton, resulting in the board to vote last night to place Dolton's deputy police chief, Lewis Lacey, on administrative leave and lay off 8 village employees.
We were about $6 million in deficit.
But this morning, despite the vote, Lacey still reported to work after Norwood says the deputy chief claims the board had no authority to place him on leave.
That is not true. So we did a vote on it, and our vote is actually valid at the moment. So we were quite surprised when he showed up at work today. We're waiting for the advice of our attorney to figure out our necessary steps legally.
So a week ago, the Board of Trustees, they voted to place Lacey on leave. Obviously, they're trying to get rid of this rogue cop. After they did that, though, he showed up to work anyway. He's like, I don't care what you say. I'm still about to run this police department. And then just yesterday, that's when the feds charged him.
This is political retaliation.
Embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard responded to that vote last night during yet another chaotic meeting amid multiple investigations, including a federal one into her spending of village funds. Today, our calls to Mayor Henyard for a comment.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Have yet to be returned. The meeting from last night. I also reached out to Henyard's ally, Deputy Police Chief Lacey, to respond to the board's vote and the possible litigation surrounding it, but have yet to hear back.
There it is. Just a couple of months after Keith Freeman, the city girl mayor's right-hand man, was indicted, the deputy police chief was also indicted by the feds. Tiffany Teflon Tahoe, she's now reading the room. That's why she showed up to the board meeting last week with criminal defense attorneys. She's aware it's only a matter of time. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this below. Special thank you to William A. I appreciate you, William, for all of your support, as well as Emmanuel, Yvette C., and Roland C. Also, shout out to Mark, Big Sneed, my sister Starlet, Darius, Early Lately, Lucas, and Sharif. Big thanks to all of you for your contributions to the channel. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.